He's oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it! And will this be enough? My God,
I gotta take that part down. There it is. Welcome. There we are. Welcome everyone to another episode of Ruckus Wrestling. I'm Josh Mabry alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner. How are we doing today, sir?
Pretty good. A lot of fun stuff happened this past week.
A lot of stuff happened this weekend. A couple of predictions we got right. As far as who was gonna be in the last person in the Iron Challenge, whatever it's called, Iron Survivor.
Yeah.
That was the most well-known secret, best kept secret there. But we're gonna starting in January 6th, Raw will be transferring from USA Network to Netflix. And the reason I'm saying transferring is because WWE has announced a transfer window. So I think this is their way of not doing a draft, because everyone knows as soon as a draft happens, you shuffle around anyway. So Justin, tell us a little bit about how much what the rules actually are and how much they're actually going to care about it.
We don't know the rules. All we know is that there's going to be trades, and they're teasing people switching brands, even champions. They showed Cody talking to Adam Pearce, Gunther talking to Nick Aldis. It's like Carmelo Hayes isn't happy on SmackDown, so he's thinking maybe Monday Night Mellow sounds better, get traded to Raw. So we don't know what will happen. It's like, so they're definitely going to shuffle some stuff around, and this is an easy way also because they said NXT is involved, so that means they're going to pull some people probably off of NXT and maybe even send some people to NXT. Who knows? More likely, they're probably going to be calling some people up from NXT during this whole trade window.
Yeah. It's probably my prediction is probably going to be the main title for the men's side is going to be on Raw because Netflix is kind of like when the Fox deal happened. They want their biggest champion and championship on the brand that is featured the most on the network that's paying them the most money. With SmackDown moving back to USA Network, it's kind of under.
It's very possible.
It's a switch. That's just my prediction. There's no spoiler here with us. And because there was other rumors that the Jimmy and Roman were going to move to Raw with Jay and Sammy, and
they may just loosen the brand restrictions for a while so that they can have Roman show up on Raw for the ratings or for the views. That is.
Yeah, I mean, hell, when it was like the four of them in the OG bloodline, Sammy and the Usos were appearing on every single show. It was just Roman that was appearing on SmackDown because, by the orders of the tribal chief. And so they just go there and start going roughshod on everyone there. So, and I think that was leading up to War Games, wasn't it? I think that was when they were like flipping. They were literally appearing on every show.
Yeah. The brand restrictions have been loose for a while. I mean,
right. That's why it's just, like I said, the draft should just be about NXT call-ups because that actually means more to me and more of an impact to those NXT superstars. But I just think there's not enough content there. So if they're going to do a draft, they're going to do the whole superstar shakeup draft type thing.
Yeah, it's like as soon as they said NXT was involved, that's when I felt like, well, they're probably going to pull some people out of NXT.
Yeah, it ain't going to be Oba. Not yet.
I know.
Somebody was saying like Oba should be in the New Day, and I'm like, guys, literally the New Day is so hot right now. No. They don't need anybody else.
They're about to belt Oba. It's like he's about to become NXT champion.
It's like NXT champion. It's Oba's world. I mean, if you can tell when his interest happened at Deadline, and then we'll talk about his promo. And his line that he dropped basically just was like, no, this is actually, you're just holding my title type of promo to Trick. And you can just tell it ramped up, that title match ramped up tenfold compared to Ridge with Trick because
Now,
Oba's that dude.
if certain people are losing their titles on New Year's Evil, it's like
I'm not ready, Justin.
I know you're not ready, but it's like a lot of people are hoping that Roxanne gets moved up to Raw or SmackDown. I think she'd be better fit on Raw at this point.
I mean, no bias aside, in any brand, she is the best women's champion. I just like no bias aside. Like I think she's had a better title run and puts on better matches and has better feuds than Liv and Nia. And she beat Jordan Grace, so we already got that. And of course, she hadn't faced anybody, and they're still trying to build up. Who's the TNA champion now? Women's champion, Knockouts champion.
Masha Slamovich is the current champion. She beat Jordan recently.
And Jordan is like 30 days away from being on NXT anyway.
Yeah, like her contract is coming up next month.
Right. So that's that. And
everyone is expecting her to jump to WWE.
Yeah, and she's definitely obviously the women's division in AEW is kind of non-existent.
Yeah.
But we will get into a return on Dynamite on that. But I'm just kind of looking back. I'm like, Roxanne's, as far as match quality, run, all of that, and plus she has more opponents. It's not just Rhea for 300 days straight.
Right. It's like if Cora hadn't gone down with injury, she would already be on the main roster at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee it because they were prepping Cora to win the NXT title before she went down with her ACL. And they pivoted to Roxanne, which ended up being great for Roxanne because the heel run definitely has helped her with her promo work and her character work. So it's the countdown. It's like how much longer before she leaves NXT, and then it's like she's going to the big leagues. Yeah.
Going to the big leagues. Hey, all that female division on Raw and SmackDown, you had fun while it lasted because
like
you've had to get the gold.
Coming. It's only
yes, it's going to be Monday Night Rocks real quick.
Yep.
So I'm just saying.
I don't think Cora is going to be called up just yet. I think she needs to spend more time down there.
No, it doesn't look like
a year. She missed a year, almost a year.
Right. Yeah.
She missed a chunk of time last year. She came back right around when Punk came back. Then she got injured and didn't come back until it was October. So she was gone for like 10, 11 months.
Yeah.
So and after what happened on this week's NXT, she's already made a very clear enemy.
Yeah. As soon as that happened, I was like, okay, I'm good with this. This is gonna be good. But that's what happens with that.
Trick, I don't think Trick should be called up just yet. Maybe save him for after WrestleMania.
I think it's a WrestleMania call. It's one of those Raw after Mania things. Oba's the bigger star to me right now, but when we'll get into it, but I mean, when Oba came out, the crowd popped, but when Trick came out, that crowd was different. That crowd hit another level when Trick came out. So he's still super over.
He is.
I just think Oba has a
question is
just a little bit.
Trick is ready to get called up, or do you think he needs a little more season?
I don't know how much more seasoning you can really give him at this point. Oba, I think Oba's a more complete package as far as Mike in the ring.
But they want to give him a run with the NXT title before he gets called up.
He has to run that title.
Yeah.
Before
he dominated the North American division, and now they're gonna give him the title soon and let him run wild for a while at the top. Because honestly, there's not many other people that feel like are ready for the title. It's like
no. And I'll get into my discrepancies with NXT.
That made Wesley, I think. Plus, like Wesley's got a lot. He got history. He's going to have some ready-made feuds. I mean, we'll get into that later. So it's like I could see Drew getting moved over to SmackDown to get away from Punk.
Yeah.
Because right now he's focused on hurting Sami and Jay for War Games.
Right.
But I could see him easily being like, I don't want to be on the same show with Punk anymore. Trade me to SmackDown.
Right.
And if he does, then that's a great opponent for Cody.
Yeah. Do you think do you think they go Jordan right to the main roster?
Oh yeah, she basically already did her time in NXT with this crossover.
Right.
So it's like
that's what I figured.
She should go right to the main roster.
I think so.
She does not need it. The NXT Women's Division is already low enough as it is. Even when you take Roxanne out of the picture, it's like the talent level is still ridiculous. So Jordan doesn't need to be in NXT. She put her right on the main roster, man.
No, she's already made. Like she doesn't. Yeah. They don't need any seasoning with her. I mean, I understand the Julia Stephanie just to kind of get them used to the style, but Jordan's already been there, done that. She's fine.
Yeah.
Move her to let's have her face Bianca and let's just get it over with. It's all we want, really.
It's like you didn't know any better. You think she's already in NXT.
Yeah. Just Jordan versus Rhea and Bianca in a triple threat. Let's just give it to us. With that, Charlotte Flair is teased about being on Saturday night's main event. That was a tease there.
Most of all sources say that that she's. It looks like that they're going to have her return on Saturday night's main event Saturday night.
Okay, because that's I saw that rumor, but you basically
Russell Wilson put that out there today.
Okay, and then real quick, we typically don't like. There's a small news date, but this is at least something. With the Rey Fenix Penta,
the Rey Fenix drama.
It's a lot of scuttlebutt, but basically, Tony is doing something that we disagree with, which is is extending his contract based off of injury time.
Yeah.
And we think that's just a dirty move just to keep him from going. I mean, he was pretty much the Motor City Machine Guns are supposed to be on NXT, and then the Lucha Bros are supposed to be where the Motor City Machine Guns are now. Because they extended Penta's contract through injury time, then his contract's technically not up until like way into 2025, whereas Penta contract just ran out. He appeared on AAA to kind of just kind of show his face, but I mean he's basically WWE bound with that, and then Penta really hasn't said a whole lot about the Rey situation, but Rey came out and said he's not going to talk about it, and then immediately talks about it, saying that AEW, like he said he needed a doctor and AEW didn't provide it, and then AEW said, yeah, we did, but the doctor just said you're not ready to go, you're not medically cleared, and he didn't like that.
That's what sources said to various people like Sean Ross Sapp and stuff, because they were reaching out because he tweeted out like about not wanting to stay in a place with where you're with inhumane treatment, which made people go, oh boy, what's going on now? And then Dr. Featherstone from Sportspedia tweeted out a thing saying that he heard from sources that about the whole not issues with doctors and getting clearance, and he said that that's the most accurate thing that he's seen reported so far was his response. And then tweet about it's like I need a doctor, you ignored me. So everyone was like wondering, holy crap, what the hell is going on here? 24 hours later, those tweets were deleted. I think the only one that's still up is the response to Featherstone. I think is the only one that he didn't delete. So that's also increased more speculation about okay, did the AEW and Tony be like, please don't be talking about this. I mean, there's all kinds of speculation. People are wondering if he did on purpose to try to convince Tony just to let him out of his contract early so he can go. Trying to force his hand. But he made it clear that because that he wants to put on the record the whole story, but he can't do it for obvious legal reasons. And that's probably legal reasons why he probably ended up taking the tweets down. So, and that, WWE is kind of keeping an eye on this, obviously. It's like, so it's provoked a lot of speculation about what the hell's going on. It's like, we don't know. We can only guess. Obviously, he's not happy about some stuff. And I have no doubt he wish he didn't have the injury time, so he'd be able to, he and Penta could go to WWE together at the same time. But unless Tony changes his mind, that's not going to happen. So I think that's probably why we'll probably see Penta show up first by himself. I don't see him as much as he'd like to, debut together as a tag team. They can use Penta and Singles for a while until he's finally free of his contract and he can sign. So,
yeah. Do you think they put Penta on NXT just to have other?
No, I think he can go right to the main roster. I don't think they.
I think he can too, but I just don't know because he always had to have a mouthpiece because his English is. They just never even had him really do much.
It's like he's officially a free agent right now, and he basically went down to AAA and was like saying like goodbye. He's got a major decision to make. Obviously, he's contemplating signing with WWE. So, and there's a lot of speculation because that Nick Aldis was like, I got something planned for you, Mello, and people are speculating that they're gonna have Penta debut and by Aldis bringing him in to wrestle Carmelo to punish him for mouthing off on him. So we'll see.
Yeah,
that's all just speculation.
Yep. Well, all right. Well, we got a big. My voice cracked there.
Either way, it doesn't look good for AEW.
No, it's not a good look.
But
your boy JD, your boy JD from New York is not holding back.
Oh no, JD from New York has been unleashing. He likes to speculate and do a little conspiracy thing, and he admits that. He goes, it's like, and he makes it clear that he's just speculating. So it's like, but people like say, oh, you said it's like you gotta listen to what he's saying. And it's like because there's so many trolls because he's been very vocal about the issues he's having with AEW lately and getting a lot of flack for it. But it's like it's like he's right about some of the problems for sure. It's like I agree with some of his takes. So
yeah,
but there's definitely I think some truth to speculation about communication issues when it comes to medical because we've heard that before. Not just from Punk said it. Punk said that it's like he had to basically pay for his own surgery and get his own doctor and stuff. Didn't hear from AEW for months about it. And then there was a tweet earlier this year with Miro basically implying that he wasn't getting proper communication with AEW about him being injured.
Yeah.
It's like so. It's this is not the first time we've heard this.
No, there's definitely some truth there. I don't think it's like, oh, they just said "F you, go figure it out." Mm-hmm. I just think that there's a communication problem, which surprise, with AEW. I think it's a lot of their problems are communication problems, which doesn't surprise me. It sounds like Tony Khan, just like JD kind of says, he's got his toys, and then he lets kind of the toys come alive, and Andy just watches them play.
Right.
So, but in a couple of days, we're going to have the return of an 80s classic of Saturday night's main event.
Yep.
Justin, we've got a nice little card brewing here.
Yeah, they it's like they have made the Saturday night's main event card like pay-per-view level with the matches that they've got lined up. So the word is it's going to be very retro. Yeah, it's going to have a look and feel like the Saturday night's main event did back in the 80s when it first debuted. Including having Jesse the Body Ventura on commentary, which I think is an awesome thing. That's going to be fun. And then, of course, Triple H did a big tease that I think everyone is correctly assuming that he's going to let Cody use the old Wing Eagle belt for.
Do you think it's the big? You think it's the big Stone like that they gave Stone Cold, or is it the OG?
It's the OG Wing title belt that that was used for like a decade. The one that Hogan, Macho Man, all the way up to Stone Cold had.
Yeah, because as soon as Stone Cold took it from Shawn, then they replaced it with the bigger.
Yeah,
wing.
Yeah. It changed. They changed the belt after he won it from Shawn at WrestleMania 14. The first time they changed the title belt, and because that Wing Eagle belt was around for like a decade.
Yeah, it was a that's
because he put out a thing saying one night only on social media, and he gave Cody something in a case and said that he was giving this to him, but it was only for one night only. And he opened it, and it was like all like shiny, like Pulp Fiction style. And Cody just looked at the camera and smiled and closed the case. And so everyone's like, it's got to be the Wing Eagle belt because Cody's wanted to bring it back. The fans would love to see it back, even if it's for one night. Myself included, because that's the title belt from my childhood.
Right.
You know, some of my favorite wrestlers all the time are when they were WWE champion had that belt around the race. You know, Hogan, Macho Man, Brett, Shawn, Stone Cold, Diesel. You know, it's like
that was
iconic.
Yeah, especially during the Diesel run, which according to Kevin Nash is the best run of any champion. Right? They were just so hot. I love you, Kevin, but come on, man. Anyway, speaking about that, what is the card we're looking at?
So we have 5 matches scheduled for Saturday night's main event. Saturday night, it's going to be at 8:00 Eastern time on both regular NBC broadcast television, but also you can watch it on Peacock as well if you want to. So it's both on. It's going to be simulcast on broadcast TV and on Peacock. So this one was just added this past Monday. We have Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. Drew looking to punish all the people he considers dumb and stupid for teaming with Roman at War Games. He's not touching Punk because, as he said, he goes, he's trying to move on from Punk. And as he wonderfully said in his promo this week, at least Punk took a bribe. It's like the rest of you guys don't have an excuse.
Right.
So he's out to hurt them because he still hasn't gotten over what Roman and the Bloodline screwing him 2 years ago at Clash in the Castle, which was Solo's debut on the main roster. Drew's going to win that, I think. Then we have, this is where things are going to get interesting because we don't know who's going to be in this match until after SmackDown tomorrow night. We have the finals of the Women's United States Championship Tournament to crown the first ever Women's United States Champion. The semifinals are going to take place tomorrow night on SmackDown. We have Bayley versus Chelsea Green and Michin versus Tiffany Stratton. Now, there's only 2 combinations that make any sense. It's either going to be Bayley or Tiffany in the finals, or it's going to be Chelsea Green and Michin.
Right.
I'm leaning toward Chelsea Green and Michin because they already got enough big names on this card, and this feels more like they want to elevate somebody who deserves to have a title at this point. You know, Bayley's a big name, yes, but, you know, she just came off of the women's title run not too long ago. Tiffany still has money in the bank briefcase, so she doesn't need to win the mid-card title. She's got money in the bank briefcase so that she can cash in and try to win the women's world championship anytime she wants. So, I think the finals are going to be Chelsea versus Michin, and I could see either one of them winning. That's the thing. I could, you know, it's like I would love to see Michin win, finally get a singles title. But I would not be upset if Chelsea Green won because of the work that she's put in this last year. She's been killing it with her character work and in-ring work. The fans are into her. I mean, it's like so. I think it's going to come down to Chelsea versus Michin, and it's like I'd be fine with either one of them winning. It'd be a little bummed for Michin because like it gets so close, but. They already had a ready-made feud, so it's like I think she eventually would be able to win it. But so we'll see. But that's my pick for the finals. And
I think that right now I'm leaning towards Chelsea winning the whole thing.
Yeah,
just
possible.
with what they're doing and stuff. Now that being said, I still want Michin and Chelsea to be in the final. But I just think with Chelsea and the work she's doing. I see her more featured than Michin is. So that's just kind of the tell of the tape there.
So, all right. Then we have the rest are all title matches. We have women's world title match, Liv Morgan defending against Io Sky. I would love to see Io win the belt, but more likely Io's going to retain unless Rhea decides to interfere and fuck Liv over. It's payback. But more likely they're going to take the safe route and have Liv win, and then Rhea wins the belt back on the Netflix Raw debut.
Yeah, I just don't. The feud. I could have said like maybe 3 months ago that you didn't need the belt to get the feud done.
Yeah,
but the feud has gone off and kind of gotten stale so badly that you need the belt.
Yeah,
that's the only problem.
Yeah,
I think Io should win it, but
if they give enough time, this will be a great match.
Oh yeah.
And then now originally this was going to be Gunther versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship, but because of the Damian Priest situation, Adam Pearce inserted him into the match and make a triple threat, which I think is the right move because for me, when it was just Finn Balor versus Gunther, I was like, okay, Priest is going to interfere and fuck Finn over so he won't win the title. The predictable choice. Now that Priest is actually in the match as triple threat, this makes it a lot more interesting on what's going to happen.
Yep.
I don't think Gunther's going to lose the title, but it definitely adds more intrigue that it's triple threat.
No, Punk's going to end up dethroning Gunther because Gunther threw out the best in the world too many times.
I wouldn't be surprised if they turn her face eventually. She's become pretty popular. It's like now I would like Finn to win. I don't think they have the guts to have him win it right now. I think eventually he should. Finn is one of the people that this coming year I think deserves to have a title run. Especially he just re-signed this past year anyway, so he's around for the foreseeable future, and I think he deserves to have that world title one because it's like he was supposed to be the first Universal Champion, but he got injured in the match when he won the title, and that's like never had the chance to be at the world championship level run since. He's won the mid card singles titles. He's been tag champion multiple times, but yes, he went back down to NXT and won the NXT title, but nothing to that height at the main roster since then. So, more likely Gunther's going to retain, unless they want to pull a shocking swerve, because they could have the title change hands and Gunther not get pinned to protect him if they wanted to do that.
Yeah,
like Finn pins Priest to win the title. It's like, but I think the more likely thing is that this is building. It feels like it's building toward Finn getting kicked out of Judgment Day.
Yeah, and apparently the rumor is that the Wyatt Six they're going to be feuding with Judgment Day.
It's like this is why it's like things are like wide open for WrestleMania. With it's like there's so many different combinations. There's nothing that there's a lot of different ways I could see this go. No, we're like this is definitely going to happen. This is definitely going to happen, which I like because that makes it more this WrestleMania season more unpredictable. Sorry. Well, I don't know if they'll have. I mean, it's like we'll see. I mean, like they tease Goldberg versus Gunther. That may still be the plan as part of it. His planned retirement because we're gonna get both Cena. We're gonna be saying goodbye to Cena and Goldberg this coming year. They're both.
I said goodbye to Goldberg a long time ago, but officially we're saying it.
Yeah, officially he's finally gonna retire, but Cena's gonna be doing more wrestling than Goldberg. I think Goldberg. The word is that he's going to do like a match or two, and then for his swan song. Whereas Cena's made it clear that he's going to be wrestling the entire year, right to the end, before he hangs it up. So he's going to be around. He's basically going to be around on and off for the year. He's already said they've already advertised he's going to be at the Rumble. He's going to be at Elimination Chamber. He's going to be at Mania. So he's definitely going to be returning to kick off the tour at the Raw debut on Netflix for sure. So we'll see. What do you think Gunther's keeping the title, or do you think they might try to do a little swerve and have maybe Finn win it, but not pinning Gunther, maybe pinning Priest to win the title?
I mean, the rumor out there that there's going to be a big title change.
They're thinking they're doing a big title change.
Yeah. So I would say Finn would pin Priest just because he'll have the numbers game and stuff. So who knows? And if Gunther is going to go against Goldberg or something at WrestleMania, he doesn't need the title. And I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing Finn.
I don't think they'd pull the trigger on that one that quickly, Giff. But I think that will happen. It's going to happen this coming year. I don't know if they'll do it that quickly. But that Cena versus Goldberg is a very obvious dream match that they got to do. There's a lot of like Cena versus matchups that have to happen this coming year. And that's definitely one of them. We'll see. You never know. It depends on how much they're going to load up this first Netflix Raw. I mean, there's rumors that they want to do Seth versus Punk on January 6th Raw, which people are like, wait a minute, won't they want to save them for WrestleMania? Well, they could have a match, but shit happens, and then you do the rematch at Mania, because just advertising it, that's going to get people to tune in. So we'll see. So then finally, of course, which is going to be the main event, obviously, WWE title, Cody versus Kevin Owens.
I want Kevin Owens to win this, but
a lot of people want to, you're not the only one. There's a lot of people that like to see Kevin win this just for the shock value. I just don't think that they have the guts to do that right now.
No, they are leaning so heavily on Cody.
Yeah,
and he's earned it. I'm not going to sit there and say
if he comes out with the Wing Eagle belt, there's no way they'd have him chop when he's finally getting to use that. It's like when I saw that tease, I'm like, I don't see how Cody's going to lose now if he's getting to use the Wing Eagle belt for the night.
Yeah, the only two title changes either going to be EO goes over Liv for some reason.
That's why I think either Gunther or Liv may lose their title. Because there's word that they want to do at least one title change on the show, and that would make those ones would make a little bit more sense. That's why I'm kind of leaning toward maybe EO pulling off the upset, because I don't see them wanting to take the top titles off Gunther and Cody just yet. Not yet.
Correct.
Although I wouldn't mind. It's like, as much as I love Cody, I would not mind seeing KO win the title, have it for a little bit, and then you could have that would kind of like really spice up the feud, and then Cody wins the title back at the Rumble, and then he's still got the title going into Mania. But I just don't see them doing it. I don't see them having the balls to make that move. I'll be impressed if they pull that trigger, though. So, so I'm still going to pick Cody, but I will be pleasantly surprised if somehow Kevin Owens wins it, because I'd like to see KO get another world title run. Did you see the video that they put up on their YouTube channel, where he looked back on like big matches in his WWE?
Yeah, they did the same thing they did with New Day.
Yeah, and he talked about how when he won the Universal title, that's one of his favorite moments. But the title run itself, it's like he kind of got into his own head about like trying to do the best as possible, and he didn't enjoy the time he had the title as much as he should have. In which it's like before Goldberg wrecked him for it a couple months later, because they covered a lot of cool stuff. It's like him winning that Festival of Friendship, main eventing WrestleMania twice. I love how he's like, I never thought I would main event WrestleMania. If you ever hear me say in an interview that my dream was to main event WrestleMania, I'm a bleeping liar. Yeah. I never dreamed that, but it happened to me twice. I got to main event WrestleMania twice.
Yeah, he did. Against Stone Cold of all people.
He was his hero.
Yeah.
So it's like that's just like a wrestling idol. He got to have a main event match with Stone Cold, his idol, at WrestleMania, and then winning the tag titles with Sammy was just like another like amazing moment for him. He said,
yeah.
Which, yes, yeah. I've been hyping the Vault lately. Giff. I've been telling people you got to check out the WWE Vault YouTube channel. They just put up the Life and Times of Mr. Perfect documentary that was put out on DVD years ago. Today, they're putting out like full documentaries, all this like rarely seen stuff, full matches, full episodes of stuff, like full episodes of Saturday Night's Main Event, or like WCW Saturday Night. It's just fun stuff. It's like you got to go check it out.
Yeah, it's great stuff there.
It is.
All right.
Whoever is running that channel is doing an amazing job.
Yeah. But I just want Jesse Ventura to do commentary, then randomly Karrion Kross come out, and they just like have an interaction of him just doing the.
I hope so. That would be funny.
Yeah, I doubt they're going to do that, but that would be hilarious if they did that somehow.
Yeah.
But no, that we were saying there. I mean, obviously, I've got family stuff this weekend, but this wouldn't have mind doing a live stream for that. But unfortunately, guys, I've got family stuff. It's a holiday, so again.
And I wouldn't want to do it solo.
Yeah. So again, trust me, you don't want to do it. I did the Rumble solo. That was exhausting. But yes, we're looking to do at least the Rumble coming up there. So a lot of craziness is going on. So speaking about craziness, let's get into Deadline. NXT
Deadline.
Yeah. Here we go.
All right, here's a recap of the NXT Deadline PLE event. It took place from Minneapolis, Minnesota in the Armory. We opened with the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge match. Javon Evans and Wesley started as the first two. Nathan Frazier joined them at number 3. Wesley was able to use some feet on the ropes and we get a pin on him before Frazier came out. Just before the next entrant, Ethan Page, came out, Nathan Frazier got a pin on Page just after he got out. Then Page got a pin on Frazier after he got out of the penalty box. Javon finally got one. But then the complexion changed when the fifth and final person came out, and we found out Femi was Eddie Thorpe's replacement in the match. He came in and wrecked house. He got a pin on Javon, sent into the penalty box. As it wound down, both Ethan Page and Javon had 2 falls. Everyone else had 1. But Obafemi choke slammed both Nathan Frazier and Wesley and pinned them both with about 10 seconds left to go up 3 falls. Javon hit his cutter, but was not able to pin Obafemi in time to try to tie him as time expired. And Obafemi wins the Iron Survivor Challenge match and will face Trick Williams for the title at New Year's Evil. Then we had the underground match between Lola Vice and Jada Parker. Lola Vice picked up the victory, hit her spinning back fist, and then choked Jada out into unconsciousness to pick up the win. Then we got to the NXT Tag Team title match as Fraxium defended against the No Quarter Catch crew of Tavion Heights and Mouse Bourne. Good action here. Frazier was selling injuries from the Iron Survivor match during this. But once again, Fraxium pulled out the victory when Axiom small package Bourne to retain. Then we got the NXT title match. Trick Williams defending against Ridge Holland. Trick overcame Ridge Holland, even kicking out of the Redeemer, and hit him with the trick shot to pick up the victory to retain. And then the main event, the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge match. We started with Julia and Ren Sinclair as the first 2 participants. Then Soul Worker came out at number 3. Not long after that, Julia hit her Northern Lights bomb on Ren to pick up her first fall. Then Zarya came out and started a wreck house. Fortunately for Ren, as soon as she got out of the penalty box, she got hit by a Soul Snatcher from Soul Ruka and got pinned and sent right back to the penalty box. Then Stephanie Kerr came out last to complete the field. Before that, Soul Ruka and Julia teamed up and power bombed Zarya through the announce desk in a cool spot. Tried to take her out of the match for a little bit. She eventually recovered, hit an F5 on Julia to pick up a pin. Then more action as time started to wind down. Ren tried to get some falls, tried to get on the board, but Stephanie Kerr rolled her up in a package and pinned her to pick up a fall with just over 3 minutes left. Things got crazy. There was a big showdown between Julia and Stephanie McCurry, teasing a future match between them. The final minute went nuts. Ren Sinclair was finally able to get a pin on Sol Ruckus with about 30 seconds left to tie everyone at 1. Looked like it might go to OT, but after Zarya dropped Ren with an F5, before she could pin her, Julia nailed Zarya in the face with her patented running knee and pinned her with just over 10 seconds left. Stephanie McCurry tried to pin Julia to tie things up with her having the lead, but time ran out. And Julia won the Iron Survivor Challenge, 2 falls to everyone else's 1, and celebrated with confetti as the show went off the air. So that's all that happened at WWE's NXT Deadline.
So, Justin, what do you want to talk about?
Gee, Cody, I don't know. I want to save the one for last because that was the best thing about the show.
I think we say the two irons for last.
Because I'm glad that they gave the women's Iron Survivor match the main event slot because I felt they deserved it. And because Sean understands that right now the NXT Women's Division is the best thing about NXT right now. And they killed it. We'll get to that. I'd say the weakest match, but not like in a bad way, or the weakest match of the show was definitely the Underground match, but it was still entertaining.
I enjoyed it. It's a different step for me.
Different.
It's different. So I have to wrap my head around it. It's kind of like the whatever cup. But.
And they're definitely putting this as this is her match. Because she's 3-0 in these Underground matches. She beat Natalya. She beat Shayna Baszler of all people. And now she's beating Jada Parker in it. So this is her thing. And because they're working off of her MMA background, which I like. And it's like, I mean, the fans weren't like into it, but like in the right spots, they came alive. It's like, and Lola Vice and Jada Parker are both great. The future is bright for both of them, especially Jada Parker. I think she's almost ready for a main roster. She's come along so well this past year. She's become one of my favorites to watch in the NXT Women's Division. But it makes sense that Lola won because Jada won the hardcore match at the ECW arena, so she needed to get the win back. And she did it in her playground, the NXT Underground. So it wasn't like the best match, but it was still good. It was very entertaining. I thought it was fine. It's like just when you think Fraxium is about to finally
they're never losing the title. I thought I was always like biased to say that.
I thought No Quarter Catch Crew was going to win this match.
Yeah. I mean, technically they did lose to Chase U for like a second. But
they did, but they got the titles like right back,
right?
Because of Ridge, and that led to the Ridge Holland heel turn. But even though they lost, No Quarter Catch Crew got to look great, and the crowd really got into this match. I was over watching this with my friend James Irish. We were getting to enjoy wrestling together, and it was also his birthday, so that made it even more fun. And he hadn't seen like Tavion or Miles Bowe before. Tavion Heights really impressive because I was telling him, I was like, keep an eye on Tavion Heights. I think it's like he's got something. And like as the match is going on, he's like, yeah, I see it. Because he was pulling off some great moves in this match.
Yeah, Tavion was what they were hoping Gabe Stevenson was going to be.
Absolutely.
So and yeah, because and they're doing the right thing with because they did well with sending Tavion over to Noah, and you can definitely tell he's gained a lot of skill from there. And then Josh Briggs, they're doing the same thing, and we'll get into Josh Briggs' stuff in NXT, but they did the same thing with Josh Briggs, and hopefully that translates over because
it gives him a whole new level of experience that is definitely helpful.
Yeah, style and everything because Tavion looks a lot better.
Yeah, learning the Japanese style and getting to hone their craft in a different way.
Yeah.
So yeah, even though they didn't win, No Quarter Catch Crew got to look good. I think eventually they're going to win the tag titles. This question is like, who's Fraxium going to lose to? It's like, are they like forever champions at this point? Like, you love to joke about how like you want Roxanne to be NXT Forever Women's Champion, like Athena style, but it's like, this is getting crazy. Fraxium is fine.
Fraxium is fine. Yeah, Fraxium is fine, guys. Let me bring up the picture.
Because Nathan Frazier was in the Iron Survivor match, and he was selling like Bruce ribs. He had a busted nose. Yeah,
Fraxium is fine.
It looks like he went through a ring. It looks like he got beat up outside of a bar.
Fraxium is fine.
Fraxium is fine. Somehow they still able to pull the victory. So it's like they're amazing because like like the fans are still getting to know No Quarter Catch Crew, but because of how good Fraxium is, and they brought out the best in Tavion and Miles Bourne, and the match cooked, and the fans were really invested in the match, which is a testament to everyone involved. Mm-hmm. So, big thumbs up on that match.
They tried all they could with that trick, Rich. It's just no one was buying it.
Actually, I think that was probably that was the match I was most bored with because I was like, Trick's not losing this title. And you could tell the fans were not. They love Trick, but they were not into this match because they don't give a fuck about Ridge, and they didn't think Trick was in danger of losing the title.
I will ask you this: I thought they outlawed doing the rope thing with the neck.
I thought they did as well. I was surprised they busted that out.
Yeah, because I mean, one person I remember, I forget, it might have been Stone Cold or something. They couldn't get it off, and Triple H had to it was like during a house show or something. And then obviously Mick Foley lost an ear.
It's like Booker immediately referenced what happened to Mick Foley losing his ear.
Right.
In Germany.
And then wasn't Stone Cold like Triple H like during a house show, like he had to because the ropes were too tight and he had to.
Yeah. See, I remember hearing a story about that from him at one point. It's like I was surprised they did that. I was like, oh boy.
That's about the only thing I remember from the match. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, they came alive at certain points, but it's like they were not like heavily invested in that match.
No, especially when Oba comes back and wins the Iron, all people can think of is Trick Oba, like we've been talking about the whole time.
It wasn't a bad match. It's like it was fine, but it's like it just didn't have a lot of heat to it, which I'm not surprised.
Right. And then the men's
Iron Survivor. It started out a little slow, but once Oba came out, that's when the match went.
It went into overdrive with that. So, and I loved that right at the end, he just couldn't roll Oba over. He couldn't quite roll him over.
And I'll say this:
and Oba getting the dual choke slam pins.
The double choke slam pin was a great spot. He got to look like a monster. I loved a lot of the storytelling elements in this match, like the personal war between Javon and Wesley that spilled over into NXT this week. Ethan Page being the kind of cowardly heel he is. It's like I love how it's like he walked in all cocky and he immediately gets small packaged by Nathan Frazier and is immediately sent to the penalty box. I loved my favorite spot was where like he pinned he somehow he was able to roll up from behind. The most devastating move in all sports entertainment, as someone says, is a surprise roll. He pulled one off on Obafemi, sent him to the box, but then he got pinned again, and so he had to go into the penalty box with Obafemi, and he was like, "No, go in there."
Oba was like,
"Give it to me."
That was hilarious.
And he just he just ragdolled his ass inside the penalty box. It was fantastic.
Yeah. No, it was. I mean, I enjoyed it. Obviously, I'm a big Wesley guy. I don't like that they cut his dreads because he looks like every other wrestler instead of just sticking out with his dreads. But I understand you gotta. The dreads were more of his face run. Now he's got to do more of a heel run. Even though I think the dreads still worked.
I think we need a new Evolution pay-per-view.
We need an Evolution pay-per-view.
We need an all-women PLE for sure. GIF. I'm with you on that.
They definitely have enough in the NXT, and you can make enough out of the other roster. So, for sure,
absolutely. I think Triple H needs to do that in 2025. We need Evolution too. Give the women some spot. Give the women their own show again. But no, this was great, and as like I had a feeling Obafemi was going to be the replacement, and as soon as he came out, I was like, okay, yep, look out, you guys are screwed, and he ended up winning. And Trick, you're in trouble. Trick, you in danger. Oba's coming for you now.
Yeah, this was what we really wanted, the Wesley Oba Trick triple threat, but obviously we're not getting that because Javon and Wes has got their own thing going.
Yeah, they got their own thing. This Javon West feud is still cooking. It's not over yet.
And we'll get into the other guy that's going to be involved, which, okay, might as well give him something. But
we'll get into that.
We'll get into that with NXT.
Because Eddie Thorpe was supposed to be in the match, but he was attacked by someone and was taken out, and Ava replaced him with Obafemi. And there was quite a twist on who's responsible for taking Eddie Thorpe out of the Iron Survivor match. And we'll get to that. We'll get to NXT because didn't see that twist coming.
It's a weird twist. I'll put it that way. That's one of, like, I think Shyamalan.
We're gonna be talking about that because
Shyamalan overthought that one. To me,
maybe.
Whatever. It's just, as long as I at least like NXT for the fact that they are at least like, all right, it's your turn. You prove that you can belong in the, like with Ridge Holland's, like, all right, you get a main event. Even though we probably don't believe that you're going to win, let's just see what you can do to make this something, to test you out. And I think that's what they're trying to do with Eddie Thorpe, because Eddie Thorpe has been swimming in the aisle of irrelevancy mid-card. I think him and Lexus can only do so much, because I think they've been feuding for about a gajillion years now.
Yeah, I think that's over with, and because they're moving Les King on to other things right now, as we saw at NXT this week. They're continuing the storyline with him with the face turn.
Yeah. All right, the women's okay. Sol Roca. She's got, every time there's a women's ladder match, Sol Roca, I don't care if it's in New Japan, Sol Roca is going to be involved with it, because that dual what's her, damn it, I had it, the Soul Crusher, that double soul snatcher. Now people were like, I've never seen her when she did the ricochet flip over the outside type thing that she did. People are like, I've never seen that before. And someone was like, well, you haven't watched it. Like, they did like
that handspring out to the ring moonsault was a thing of beauty.
Yeah. And people are like, well, actually, other people have done that. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's still cool.
Makes it look great.
Yeah.
A lot of people said that she came out of this match as like the MVP. And I can't argue against that, because she had some of the highlights of this match. The double soul snatcher on Zarya and Julia, that was a great spot. The crowd popped big for that. And we're like, oh, when both of them were able to get out of the ring before she could pin either one. And then right after that happens, Ren Sinclair gets out of the penalty box after Julia pinned her, tries to get in the ring, and she immediately gets soul snatched and is sent back to the penalty box. I was like, oh, poor Ren Sinclair, man.
Yeah. That's probably why Cora Jade's not in there, because they needed Ren Sinclair to take a lot of pins.
Ren Sinclair was in there exactly as like I said. She was there to eat pins, and she did. But at the same time, she got over.
She did.
The fans got behind her to the point you heard them chanting for her because they felt so bad for her. They wanted to see her at least get a pin, and she did.
And we talked about it when she started doing her thing with the North Quarter, and I'm like, I don't know. She's got that extra something that you. She's got
that Chelsea Green comedy talent. Yeah. And it's like the fans got behind her, and I was impressed. Like, even my friend James was like rooting for her.
Yeah, she's just so light in like her personality and stuff, and her charisma. It's just so natural. It's so likable. And her in ring, obviously of the four, she definitely has the more to go with her in ring stuff, but it's.
Even though she ate most of the pitfalls in this match, she still got to come out looking pretty good and got over at the same time, which is an amazing testament to the storytelling of this match. Because the storytelling of this match was fantastic between what Sol was doing, Ren. It's like Zarya came in, looked like a wrecking machine. That was a great spot where both Sol Roca and Julia temporarily joined forces and bombed her through the announce desk, take her out of the match for a bit. That was a great spot. I was like, well, that's one way to neutralize her for a bit. She got to pin Julia. She's the only one who pinned Julia in this match. She is like pinned her off her the F5 finisher. Yeah. And then of course, Stephanie came in and was just like it's like I was like kicked it up another notch. She comes in and immediately she's flying all over the place. Great job of teasing Stephanie versus Julia one-on-one because you heard the reaction. The fans were like, "Oh yeah, let's go!" when they were facing off. It's like that got a big reaction. So I think that's your women's title match for Stand and Deliver.
Julia and Stephanie are just so technically crisp.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
It is
because like you look at this match compared to the men's, it was more even technically sound than the men's were, which is that typically doesn't, you don't really say that a whole lot when you compare, main events like that. And especially with the Obafemi, Wesley, and I'm not Javon, he's not technically sound. He's just an athletic freak.
Slow spots in the men's match until Oba got in. Whereas when you started with Julian Wren, that first 5 minutes, they were doing a lot of like chain wrestling and some good stuff. It wasn't very fast paced. Once Sol Ruckus got in the match was like nonstop, like just like it's like go 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 go. It's like there was like no like no slow spot, no deadness at all after Sol Ruckus got in the match, and it was like that all the way to the end. So that was great stuff. I loved that they were like doing the dueling headbutts. It's like that. That was so that was a great tease. I like that when they first they were about to throw down, Zarya interrupted it. It's like you could hear the fans go, "Oh," because they wanted to see Julia and Stephanie throw down, and it's like,
and they will eventually.
And they gave them just a little bit of a tease of what they can do, and which was great. That was a great move. That last minute was nuts. The finish where it's like, okay, Ren finally gets a pin on Sol Ruckus, and when it happened, because like I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I was like, and I realized like, oh wait a minute, they're all tied now. There's like 30 seconds left. What the hell's going to happen? And I was like, I literally said like, oh dude, Sol Ruckus not going to get out of the penalty box before the time expires. She's screwed. She's not winning. Right. And then like things get hectic. Stephanie tries to pin her, doesn't work. Like Zarya like takes out Ren with an F5. Looks like she's going to get a pin, and then Julia hits her with her patented running knee and pins her with like less than just over 10 seconds left. And Stephanie's like trying to like pin her as fast as possible before time's run out, and she can't do it. It's a fantastic finish.
Yeah.
The person I thought was going to win, and she got to be the marathon. She started the match, went the entire distance. And there's a lot of Toy story time. Like Zarya got to pin her, and Julia pinned her back. So that's definitely going to become over the future. Another fun fact. Stephanie was the only one in the match who didn't get pinned by anybody. She didn't take a fall by she was the only one who didn't go into the penalty box.
We're about to see lights against Cora. No, probably
so
not.
That's protecting Stephanie. And also, obviously they set up a lot of stuff there, especially Julie versus Stephanie.
Yeah.
Showdown down the line.
And for people out there, like, I can't believe Julia took a pin. I'm like, she's already been pinned, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, it's like they weren't afraid to do that, especially against Zarya, who's like a wrecking machine. So It's like they got to show that how good Zarya is by like she was the one who got to pin Julia in this match. So 3 match, Julia Roxanne 2.
I don't wanna.
I don't see Julia losing the rematch.
I don't wanna.
I know.
It's not time. I'm not ready for it.
You're because you've enjoyed her championship run so much, and I've enjoyed it, but it feels like the time is almost up. Like the sands of the hourglass are almost out.
I know, and Julia is the right one, especially second time, like literally within like 6 months.
It's the story. It's like she's like she said, she came here for 1 year. She wanted to be NXT champion.
Yeah,
she got her shot. She got her shot against Roxanne. She lost because Cora Jade screwed her. So now she's got a rematch. Now she has a second chance to win the title. So I also feel like, oh, do you think Stephanie? They're not turning on each other yet. It's like that. That's overthinking it. Besides, Stephanie's already got some other beef to deal with a certain somebody who made the mistake of making her a real enemy.
Right.
We'll get that in NXT.
Yeah.
So this women's Iron Survivor match was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone got to look great. And it's told so many stories and set so much stuff up for the future. I loved the storytelling and the booking this match.
Yeah, and these type of matches are very hard to book.
Yes. And the fans were into this match big time all the way through. It's like, so I'm glad that it was the main event because they deserved it and they rewarded HBK's faith in them by putting on a banger.
Yeah, and so shout out to obviously the women for putting on a classic.
This shows why we so many people are talking about how awesome the NXT Women's Division is. This is why. This match showed you why the NXT Women's Division is so amazing right now. It's like look at all the you can. It's like even Ren Sinclair is like who would you be like was like fifth out of the five as far as like if you had to rank them. Like she would be on the bottom, but she still got to come out looking great.
Yeah, everyone looked great. Shout out to, like I said, shout out to the women. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to the producers that helped.
Yeah, whoever produced this match, kudos.
Yeah. So, and I don't know who the producers are in NXT. I can't.
No, I don't know either. I know Matt Bloom is definitely there in Gorilla with Sean because I've seen footage of it. I think Tyler Breeze is like doing some coaching in NXT these days because I've seen behind the scenes stuff where he's been at the NXT shows behind the scenes.
Is Sean Spears doing double duty?
He's definitely helping train people at him and Tyler Breeze's place. And he's definitely helping the talent as well. So overall, Deadline was a lot of fun. Both Iron Survivor matches delivered, especially women's, which was definitely the match of the night.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's move on to great show. That's a definitely like a B plus show to me because I thought the men's and women's, especially the women's. So
while you're running the next recap, I'm going to run to the bathroom. So
you're good. We're going to move on to SmackDown now.
Yep. All right, here's a recap. What happened on last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. They opened the show announcing officially that there was injuries coming out of War Games. Bronson Reed broke his foot. Jimmy Uso broke his toe. And Tonga Loa, unfortunately, tore his biceps. So all are on doubt indefinitely. The remaining members of the Bloodline were shown coming into the arena and attacking Apollo Crews and security on their way in. Cody Rhodes came out for a chat, talking about facing Kevin Owens at Saturday Night's main event. When he was interrupted by Chad Gable and the rest of American Made, it was revealed that there was a transfer going on where talent was going to be traded between all three brands over the next few weeks. Gable got in Cody's face. They had words and set up a match between the two of them in the main event later in the show. Bianca Belair ran afoul of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven in the back, and that set up a match between Bianca and Piper Niven. Bianca thinking that Piper had something to do with laying out Jade Cargill before War Games. They announced that Jesse the Body Ventura was going to be returning to join the commentary team for Saturday night's main event next week. Then we had the next first round match in the Women's United States title tournament. Tiffany Stratton versus Elektra Lopez versus Naomi. Thanks to a well-timed distraction, Candice LeRae, Tiffany was able to take advantage and hit the prettiest moonsault on Elektra Lopez to pick up the victory and move on to the next round. She will face Michin in round 2, while Bayley will face Chelsea Green. The Street Profits are shown having been attacked and laid out in the back. More significant are talking to Nick Aldis about who there's going to face him in the title match tonight. Johnny Garg came up and said that DIY was ready to step in and take the shot instead. Aldis wasn't sure, but the Motor Machine Guns okayed it, and it was made official. Bianca Belair took on Piper Niven in a one-on-one match. Good stuff between these two. Bianca finished it by KO'ing Piper on top of Chelsea Green and then pinning her to pick up the victory. Bianca Belair was talking with Naomi back, giving her trying to cheer her up, and Naomi showing frustration over losing the tournament match. Byron Saxton came up and revealed that he saw Piper Niven in Gorilla when Jade was attacked, so she's off the suspect list. Just kidding. Nakamura came out, but LA Knight came out to have words with him. He planned on getting a rematch and getting the U.S. Championship back. Andrade came out saying that he also had beef with Nakamura and he wasn't finished with him either. Then all of a sudden, Soul Skull and the Bloodline came out and attacked both Andrade and LA Knight. Solo, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu laid them both out. Nakamura was ready to fight them, but Solo told them to back off, and Nakamura left without incident. They beat him up some more, and Solo declared that things are not over, even though they lost at War Games. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny were in the back, getting ready for their match. Kevin Owens refused to come for a sit-down interview. Michael Cole told him to come out to his car. Then we had the WWE Tag Team title match. Motor City Machine Guns defending against DIY. Disagreements between Gargano and Ciampa Henry during the match. But it ended up being all a swerve as when Ciampa distracted the referee with a chair, Johnny took advantage and hit a low blow on Sabin, then super kicked Alex Shelley and tagged Tommaso in. They hit meat in the middle on him to pin him, and once again become two-time tag team champions as DIY officially turned heel. Michael Cole went out to talk to Kevin Owens' car, and he ranted and complained about Cody. Michael Cole tried to talk sense to him, but he didn't want to listen, and he kicked him out of the car. He did mention, though, that he will deal with Sammy helping out the Roman and the Bloodline at a later date. Carmelo Hayes came up complaining about how he was being treated and maybe he should be traded to Monday Night Raw instead. Nick Aldis said that he has something in plan for Carmelo next week. Then we got to the main event. Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable. Cody Rhodes picking the victory. Hurt his ankle during the match. After the match, Kevin Owens reappeared and attacked the ankle, and the two got into a big brawl that had to be separated by referees and officials. Close out the show. So this happened on last week's episode of Friday Night Smackdown.
So the new Bloodline just a mid card now? What the hell?
Yeah. Well, obviously it means like Roman's going to be out for a bit, so they need to give him something to do because they're just attacking everybody left and right. It's
and plus Tonga Loa, that's a legit injury. So
yeah,
that stinks.
Sucks for all three of those guys.
Yeah,
especially Bronson Reed, who is so red hot.
Oh, he's so red hot.
I've seen the slow-mo replays. I was watching Stevie Richards' breakdown of the injury on his YouTube channel. He slowed it. It's like he slowed it down freeze frame.
I winced when he
yeah.
I was like, that's not supposed to happen. Oh god.
Yeah, it's like it sucks. He's probably gonna miss WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
He probably won't be back until after Mania.
Just in time to come back and Obafemi appear on the main roster.
So this was a fun show.
Yeah, it was. Kevin Owens in the car was hilarious.
That was very funny.
And then the Sami Zayn, I'll get to him when I'll get to him.
When he was brought up Sammy, I was like, okay, they finally brought up Sammy because everyone's been like, why isn't he talking about Sammy? Because she should be mad at Sammy for doing the exact same thing Cody did. And he finally brought Sammy up. So that's going to eventually that's going to come to a head later after the stuff with Cody's over with. That whole stuff, especially where he's like, yes, he's still complaining about the bad blood thing, but he also said it's not just about that. He started ranting about making it pretty obvious that he's kind of like a little jealous of Cody, the way he was going off and just ranting about it, and even about his hair and his entrance. Like I just loved it. I just love this kind of. This is why heel KO is so much fun. And that was great. Tiffany was super over in her hometown.
Not surprised.
Glad she won, even though she's not going to win the tournament. Glad she got a win for a change because she kind of needed it. Interesting that Candice helped her and she didn't complain because those two have kind of been competing for Nia's attention. So That was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Keep a note of that. And of course, the DIY heel turn dude was the highlight of the show, man, for me.
I was like, when he did the, and he was just like, I can't believe we got away with it. And he just, and I was just like, Justin is just like, yes, do it.
I was so happy. It's like when he, I was like, as soon as he was distracted to ref, I was like, Johnny, please slow bone. Please, I'm like, yes, they're both going heel. This is great. And not only did they go heel, they won the tag titles back on top of it.
Yeah.
So it was a win-win.
And you're gonna get that triple threat: Street Profits, Motor City,
Street Profits are gonna want blood now.
Oh yeah,
they're it's like they're.
Because at first we thought I just love that they were teasing that the Street Profits were gonna go heel,
but it was DIY.
That was DIY, so it was nice.
I love that it was a long con job. It's like it's like you think it was like I saw the behind the scenes video where Tommaso was like, he's the mastermind. It's like he's calling Johnny the mastermind. So yeah. It's like Johnny planned this whole thing out apparently.
And then Candice LeRae joined them. Yes, finally we get them three together on screen. Now I'm just like, oh, Indy.
Yeah, I know. I was like, if only Indy was still there.
Right.
It'd be
all they have to do.
It'd be like the way 2.0.
Right, and then just have.
Instead of Austin, instead of Theory, you have Ciampa.
Yeah, well, or you can still get Theory on there because you think about it, they've always been teasing A-Town Down Under, and you can just have
they teased them splitting up for a while, then they dropped it.
You can technically have Theory go with them. It doesn't make any really sense. You could, yeah. With that, dude, if anyone wants to know how what a pristine wrestling match is. When you look at Gable and Cody, like that, they're just It's just like it just makes me depressed because like, Gable should have a singles title.
Bianca Piper Niven was a low key banger.
Yeah, that was really good too. But yeah, that Gable Rhodes. As soon as Gable came out, I'm like, yeah, let's get some Gable Rhodes.
Scratch Piper Niven off the suspect list. They want us to they want us to think it's Bayley because it's the obvious answer. I think it's going to be Naomi. That's my
Naomi
theory.
Or Bianca herself, because the Triple H, Shawn Michaels thing. And you know how much Shawn Michaels and Triple H love bringing up old storylines that they did in the day.
They could. It's either going to be Bianca or Naomi. It's one of them. One of them's turning heel.
Yeah. Anything else on the show? But this was a really fun show.
It was. And the ending was great with Cody, KO going after Cody's injured ankle to, for the build towards Saturday's main event match. It's interesting that Bloodline is making new enemies. I mean, they beat the crap out of Apollo Crews, Andrade, and LA Knight. So it's like, I loved how Nakamura was like, it's like, guys want to play with me? And, right. It's like Jacob was ready to go, and Solo's like, no, let him go. I was like, Solo's like, yeah, right choice. So you don't want black mist in your face tonight.
I did. Speaking about that, I did see a funny meme where it was like this kid that was unfortunately, had an upset stomach, and it was a freeze frame of it. And the caption was, Asian wrestlers in WWE when they go heel. Like they all do the mist now. Because remember, Asuka did it when she turned heel. Now Nakamura's doing it when he's turned heel. I
wouldn't mind Gable and company moving over to SmackDown. Maybe
I think that's what they're going to do. That's where the actual tag division exists.
Because Creeds need to be in the title hunt, man.
Yes, they do. They're way too talented for them to be doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
Pretty Deadly. I can understand. I like their gimmick and everything, and I think they're really good. But Creeds are a step above when it comes to the in-ring stuff.
Yeah.
With that, okay. Yeah. Let's move on to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Show opened with Gunther coming out to cut a promo, saying he wasn't happy about Finn Balor attacking him last week, but now he's got his attention. Balor came out with the rest of the boys from Judgment Day, saying that Gunther was ungrateful. He helped him keep the title, but now he's going to be responsible to take the title from him at Saturday night's main event. Judgment Day went to attack Gunther, but Damon Priest showed up. Laid out Judgment Day. The two joined forces and beating up Balor for a bit before they started fighting each other. Eventually, Finn recovered, hit coup de grace on both men with the help of Judgment Day to stand tall. After the commercial break, Adam Pearce has had enough of Judgment Day shenanigans and announced that he was changing the title match to be a triple threat and inserting Damian Priest into the world title match with Gunther and Finn Balor, much to Balor's displeasure. Then we had an 8-man tag, the Wyatt Six taking on the Final Testament and The Miz. Final Testament was able to pick up the victory thanks to the return of Paul Ellering, who threw powder into Uncle Howie's face, allowing Karrion Kross to hit him with his finisher, the Final Prayer. CM Punk had a sit-down interview with Jackie Robin that was pre-recorded. Refused to reveal the favor that Paul Heyman asked him. He talked about Seth Rollins' issues with him, saying that he doesn't hate Seth Rollins, but he's always going to be second best to Punk. Everything Seth did, Punk did first and better. And now that he's back, he needs to go sit on the bench. Then we had Dakota Kai taking on Liv Morgan in a non-title match. Pure Fusion Collective showed up and caused a distraction, allowing Liv to hit Oblivion on Dakota to pick up the victory. Pure Fusion Collective attacked her afterwards, but Damage Control ran out to make the save. But Liv was able to sneak in and attack Io, laying her out with an Oblivion ahead of their title match on Saturday Night's main event. Drew McIntyre had a pre-tape promo where he talked about what happened at Hell in a Cell, recovering from his injuries. And while he was wrestling with his family in Scotland, he saw what happened with War Games and was disgusted. He said at least CM Punk took a bribe to help Roman in War Games, but Sami and the Usos have no excuses going back to Roman, and he planned to make them pay for their mistake. Cody Rhodes was shown leaving Adam Pearce's office. New Day walked by and he told them that they should be ashamed of themselves. Seth Rollins came out the count promo responding to CM Punk, saying that Punk left and saying that some of this and talk about their history. Sami Zayn cut him off and came out and they squashed their beef from last week between the two of them, with Sami warning him that Punk brings out the worst in him and said he was going to deal with Drew McIntyre, and he announced that he would face Drew McIntyre in a match thanks to Adam Pearce at Saturday Night's main event. Drew showed up and attacked Sami again. They got into a brawl. Then we got the first round match in the Women's Intercontinental Title Tournament. Zelina Vega taking on Ivy Nile and Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria picked up the victory with her finisher, the Nightwing, on Ivy Nile to move on to the next round of the tournament. New Day was interviewed, but they said they felt it was being biased. They went up to try to explain what happened last week, and they were booed out of the building. Massive nuclear heat from the fans for what they did to Big E, and so they couldn't even speak, and so they left disgusted. Then we got to the main event. Rhea Ripley taking on Raquel Rodriguez in Anything Goes match. Despite interference from Liv Morgan, Io Sky did come out to help try to neutralize her. Ripley eventually hit the Riptide through a table on Raquel and pinned her. After the match, Morgan was laid out, and both Rhea Ripley and Io Sky picked up the Women's World Championship, held it in their hands, and stared at each other to close out the show. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw.
That Seth Rollins solo promo could have gone so boring so quickly, but man, did he make that work.
Him and Punk both are like just killed it with their solo stuff. They're both dropping true promises.
I love he was on the top 10. He right now he's like the top 10, but he was on the top 10 to get fired, and I shielded him.
Yeah, when he said shielded him, I laughed. I was like, oh, that's such a great line.
Yeah.
Because it's true. For those who don't know, the concept of Shield was Punk helped come up with the idea of Seth, Roman, and Moxley, Dean Ambrose as the Shield.
He just wanted Ono instead of Roman, and they were like, no, do Roman.
No, do Roman.
Yeah.
So it's like the reason why it's like they got their shot was because of Punk. It was all three of them, and look at how their careers have turned out.
Sorry, Chris Hero, not Ono. He wanted Chris Hero. But wasn't he Ono in NXT?
Yeah, Cassius Ono, yeah.
Cassius Ono, yeah. But Chris Hero was his ROH
Yeah.
name, right? Okay. Anyway, that's not the point. But yeah. But
yeah,
those
when he
two,
said I shielded, it's like and Seth's like, but Seth keeps bringing about how like he left, and the telling thing is that he brought that up, and he brought up about like he burned bridges, and it's like I was like, yeah, it's true. It's like without naming AEW, you know what he was referring to, and he's like burned his bridges, and then they had nowhere left to go, and came back for the money. Like that's technically true.
Yeah.
Seth and Punk we're dropping some truth bombs on each other, but the telling thing is that he talked about how like Punk left and the fans still cheered for Punk.
Yep. And he was still just like, why do you keep?
Because Punk is always honest about who he is, and the fans love him for that. And plus, yes, he left, but he came back, and that's all that matters to the fans.
Yeah,
that's all. It's like they're happy Punk is back, and unless he turns on them, they're not going to turn on Punk. No matter what, like what Seth says.
I just need Seth to stop with the outfits at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only thing. Like the song is the song. You can't change that, but you need to stop with the flamboyant outfits because that's just not his character anymore.
Yeah,
that's not.
He needs to drop that, especially if he's going to go. He's going to be the heel in this feud.
Yeah,
because the fans are not going to turn on Punk no matter what he says. And they hinted that with where I love how Sammy's like, you're starting to sound like Drew McIntyre, buddy. And I was like,
Yep. Yeah, and I just like the fact that literally we had 4 years or 3 years of Roman being the worst heel ever, and everyone wanted to see them go down. And now all the people that helped take him down are heels. Drew McIntyre, so, Kevin Owens, and now it's looking like Seth. Because Seth kind of hinted that we need more heels. He did say that like in an interview. We need more heels. I'm like, okay, well, we got Kevin Owens switched.
They really do. They really do. It's like it's like, especially when you got like a babyface champion like Cody, you need the good heels. That's why turning Kevin Owens made sense. Randy may still turn. Who knows? That's the other thing I got to mention was I think Randy's going to be coming back, and because he's going to want to kill KO.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to return, and either he's going to cause Kevin to lose, or like the match is going to get thrown. I don't know. We'll see.
Why was Dakota and Liv a match?
I don't know either. They could have found someone else to face Liv, because Dakota's in the Intercontinental title tournament.
Yeah,
it's like she shouldn't be jobbing to Liv, even though it was she lost because of pure garbage collective. Doesn't matter. I don't see the point of her being there. But obviously, it's all about advancing storyline. Damage Control, Pure Fusion Collective are butting heads now. Still, Happy Lyra won her first round match. She's moving on tournament. She's one of my picks to go to the finals and maybe.
I was with Zelina though. Or they wanted Zelina.
I know it was bummed because I love Zelina too, and it's like, but
I knew it was, but yeah, I'll go. Sorry.
No, you're right. It's like I would like to have seen Zelina like get a good run in the tournament, but as soon as she was put in the same match with Lyra, I was like, only one of them is going to win that match. It's like.
Plus, the way they presented it, it was Zelina barely got an entrance, and Lyra
got the full entrance.
Lyra got the full entrance. So I'm like, well, I know who's winning.
Who they're pushing. It's like,
yeah. But sometimes they swerve. They'd have swerved that before, but typically it doesn't. They were typically 98% of the time the person that gets the full entrance on that.
But you see how fans are behind her. She was over. They were doing the woo.
Yeah, well, it's not hard there.
Which makes me happy. It's like Lyra's getting over. It's like I'm happy to see that.
Speaking about kind of getting over, like Karrion Kross, like they are they're doing good.
This is the best stuff he's done in ages.
This
is the best stuff he's done since his NXT run.
Yeah. And everything made sense. I mean, in both, they said Uncle Howdy didn't get pinned, Bo Dallas got pinned. I'm like, whatever you want to say, do you get
whatever.
I don't think it hurts.
I like that Final Testament won this match.
But yes, the Final Testament needed this more than Wyatt.
They did. They needed this win. Karrion Kross needed the win.
And the fact that they're still just like leaving the Miz around, like they don't even he's not really a part of it, but they're just manipulating him.
Yeah, they're like, no, we still need you. It's like,
yeah. But he's like, where are you? Oh yeah, it's fine. But yes, Karrion is doing his best work.
Yeah, fantastic stuff.
Fantastic.
I like that whole decision on that match.
Yeah, and having Paul come back to be the fodder, and so yeah, it all that match made made sense. Everybody got highlighted. Everything looked good. So, and the Final Testament needed because they were just like, what? There's just nothing here. And Karrion and putting the Miz with him, and how they're kind of manipulating the Miz, and Miz is thinking that he's doing something. And then, of course, Karrion did comment about, and we'll kind of segue into the New Day stuff, how, he was in Woods' ear, and then he was like, I was just trying to get Woods. I didn't know I was going to end up manipulating Kofi.
Right.
He came up and said that too. So it's like, all right, I like what they're doing with Karrion. Now, he has to be protected with doing matches because his singles, his in-ring singles is still, but we say that about LA Knight all the time. And well, of course, I think LA Knight's in-ring capability is a lot better than Karrion's is, but that's just me on that. There was one other thing I wanted to do. I mean, obviously, McIntyre's promo was good.
Yep.
Like you already alluded to, him attacking Sammy.
At least Punk took a bribe. I laughed so hard when he said that. It's like, at least Punk took a bribe.
At least Punk took a bribe. The New Day stuff. I mean, this is so good. So good. And like them like going through and everyone just shunning them and Cody being like, if you had any
doubts if this heel turn was working, they got the Dominic Mysterio Don Callis level nuclear heat booed out of the building. They were booed out of the building. They would not even let them speak. When they tried to speak, they booed louder like they do to Dom at the height of his heeldom.
And I liked how
amazing.
And I liked how they didn't they just showed up and be like, why is everyone mad at us?
Yeah, they acted like everything's fine, and everyone's like doesn't even want to talk to them. I love it because like you should be ashamed of yourselves, and they're like, wow, and it's like, but it wasn't until like the fans were like, what they act like they're acting like they didn't do anything wrong, and that's awesome, and that just adds to the heat because the fans are like, what? It's like fuck you for what you did to Big E. I saw like audio from fan video, like,
oh no, it was
holy cow, was that heat high?
That was heat. I did like his whole like, give me, I know you're John. Hey, John Cena's buddy, give me the camera. This was
going to be an unbiased interview, Kathy.
Right. Hey, and he was just like, hey, John Cena's friend. It was just Stu. He's like, give me the camera.
And that was fantastic stuff. Just so good.
And then and I don't know if you noticed the nugget of when after Cody Rhodes said you should be ashamed of yourself, and as they started walking, Rhodes is like, you should have ashamed of us. You should have seen yourself in high school because they went to the same high school.
They did.
So I thought that was a nice little nugget that he dropped there. But yeah, just them literally getting booed. And I liked how they showed their entrance and they didn't actually have any music because they were just getting booed so much because you can't use it. It's a new day. It's like, no, you can't do that. You have to move on from whatever they're going to do.
We're interested to see what kind of entry music is going to be now.
Just coming out. It's a bad day, like some deaf whatever that
or new version of like it's a new day.
Yeah, or something like that. It's a new dawn or whatever. But yeah, no, this was a pretty solid show. Sammy, were you okay with Sammy and Seth being like, we're cool?
Yeah,
okay.
That was fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Because I mean, they didn't
later
keep carrying on that, but he did say that Punk brings out the worst, which is basically highlighting teasing his
between that and saying you're sounding like Drew McIntyre, and like he brings out the worst, and he was definitely teasing that Seth is going to go down.
Yeah, sounding like Drew McIntyre. Punk brings out the worst in you. It's all basically
it was foreshadowing
Seth's heel turn there. So yeah, no, SmackDown Raw, we're fine. Fine shows there.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And the ending is fine. Very interesting that they had both Io and Rhea holding the title, looking at each other.
I thought that match was really good, by the way.
I would not mind seeing those two clash at WrestleMania, honestly.
Yeah, but that match was really good. Raquel was really good in that match.
Yeah,
I thought
that's the best I think she's looked since she came back. Honestly,
you can tell that Rhea and Raquel have worked in the ring for like a decade. It feels like.
No, yeah, they know each other very well. They've wrestled each other a lot.
Yeah.
So.
And did you see that big gash that Rhea had?
Yeah,
on her forearm. Yeah, but good stuff there. All right, let's move on to AEW and then wrap it up with NXT,
which is the right way to go.
Yep. Well, there's a reason for our order.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. The show opened with a tag team match as the Death Riders of Moxley and Pac took on Jay White and Orange Cassidy. Things went for a while, but eventually Hangman Page ran out of attack Moxley, causing disqualification. All the baby faces ended up getting into a fight with each other, and Death Riders took advantage and laid them all out and left. John Moxley cut an interview in the back saying that he liked being a marked man, but everyone was being selfish. They only wanted the title for themselves and not for the betterment of AEW. So he decided to offer the three of them all a shot at him at once and made a fatal four-way between him, Hangman, Orange Cassidy, and Jay White, official for World's End. Christian Cage cut a promo from the Skybox saying that he was going to eventually get the title and maybe even catch it on Moxley after the main event of World's End's over with. While he was cutting this promo, Hook showed up and attacked him in the balcony box. Eventually, his lackeys showed up to help him, and Hook escaped. Then we went to a Continental Classic Gold League match. Claudio Castagnoli taking on Ospreay. Ospreay picked up the victory. He tried to attack and lay out Ospreay afterwards, but Darby Allin came out and make the save. Ricochet vowed he was going to take care of Brody King and flashed the MVP business card, saying he's holding on to cards. MJF was shown arriving in the arena. Then we had Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. Winner would face MJF for his Diamond ring at World's End. MJF came out trying to attack Cole to prevent him from winning, but he was able to small package Kyle O'Reilly, pick up the victory, leaving MJF all pissed off. Kyle O'Reilly refused to shake Adam Cole's hand afterwards. FTR invited Death Riders to come talk to them at on Collision. Jericho cut a promo on Matt Cardona hyping their ROH title match. Interview with Darby Allin was shown, talking about Moxley and the Continental Classic. Then we had Ricochet taking on Brody King in a Continental Classic Gold League match. Ricochet actually cheated to win. He used an exposed turnbuckle and was able to beat Brody King with a spirit gun, pick up the victory to some boos. Ricochet heel turn incoming. We'll see. Private Party got into it with Leo Rush, X Andretti, and Top Flight in the back, and they decided to have the two teams face off in a normal contender match. Winner would get a tag team title shot against Private Party. Mercedes Moné and AJ had words ahead of their title match coming up. Then we got to the main event. Mariah May taking on Mina Shirakawa, AEW Women's Championship match. Good action from the ladies here. Mina came close to winning, but eventually Mariah May hit her with Storm Zero to pin her and retain the title. Thunder Rosa was shown at ringside watching the match. She's looking to go after Mariah herself. But Mariah started, before Mariah could really celebrate her victory, all of a sudden, some familiar music played, and Toni Storm finally returned, but not as Timeless Toni. She was back as OG version of Toni Storm. Massive positive reaction for Toni, who obviously was very touched at the welcome back from the fans. Mariah May was completely shocked, and so was Thunder Rosa with a WTF sign, timely played, as she stared at the returning Toni Storm close out the show. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite.
All right, I'm going to go over kind of my thing, and then I'll let you go on your girl's return and whether or not you like the fact that she has her old gimmick. Ricochet should be in the Hurt Business at this point, or Hurt Syndicate. Just go ahead and have them.
I think he'll turn for Ricochet's incoming because he was getting booed, and he cheated. He used the turnbuckle to beat Brody.
Yep.
It's supposed to
I've never been so just not invested in an Adam Cole storyline in my life.
I know, dude. This is what I hate. It's like
it's Adam Cole.
All over this because Adam Cole. I love MJF. The storyline sucks.
Sucks.
They're fighting over this stupid fucking Dynamite Diamond ring for all fuck's sake.
Who puts on? Who's more consistent, Will Ospreay or Gunther? It's a Sophie's choice.
Both, neither. I have not. I'm at all the time I've been watching both of them. I haven't seen a bad match in either one of them. It's like they would have to intentionally have a bad match or have a bad match with somebody.
Yeah, I think you can put them like just do a whole thing and have Corny's head like spin around 7 times and have them like wrestle a table and still be a 4.5 star.
They make other people look good.
Now it doesn't. It's not hard for Claudio to be looking good. That you knew it was going to be a banger, but Ospreay could literally go against what was it that who wrestled like a blow up doll one time.
Yeah, like people used to or some people used to joke about how like Ric Flair and his prime could wrestle a broom and it would be a 3.5 star match,
right?
Because of how good Flair was.
These two are on that level right now, as far as the most consistent in ring that I can see. I knew we weren't going to get like a really good progression with the Death Riders Fatal 4-Way. This was going to it was fine. It did what it needed to do. But
it did. We finally got the 4. Everyone was thinking 4-way, and that now it's official.
Yeah. So so people are like, well, it kind of was like underwhelming. I'm like, but you had to do that to get to the 4-way. So it was just more of I forget what they.
And Moxley's right about one thing. It's like they're all being selfish. It's like the only thing one you could say maybe is not being selfish is Orange, because he's trying to do it just to help AEW, but Jay White and Hangman just want the title. They don't care. It's like they're not about like rah AEW. They want the fucking title. And I love how Mox called them out for that. It's like that they're being selfish and that they're not thinking about the big picture.
Yeah, I do like that they're giving Anna more. They're actually letting. And I'm not big on the.
I tell you though,
Anna is
a mistake throwing her against Mercedes because she already jobbed to Mariah May. If they job her to Mercedes, what's she going to do? Nothing.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Is they it's kind of like the Athena situation. It's like if you have everyone job to her, then when
I don't understand why Tony has just have Billy Starks beat Athena and put Athena on AEW TV.
Exactly. That is Billy Starks' division at this point. Let it happen. She's from Louisville. Go Billy Starks. And okay, so Mariah May, that was a fine match. We knew it was going to be, but old gimmick Toni Storm. I don't think that's actually
surprised me.
I don't think that's because you can tell she still had some of the mannerisms.
Yep. I'm fine with it because it's like she can bring Timeless back at any time if she wants to.
It is timeless after all.
It makes sense that like maybe she feels like like that Mariah killed Timeless and it's time to go back to her roots if she wants to get her payback on Mariah, and I'm fine with it. I'm just glad that she's back. The fans were popped big for her, and Tony. They were happy that she's back. The Thunder Rosa stuff with ringside.
Yeah, the what WTF and the signs and stuff that had me laughing.
So, I think what's going to happen is that they obviously Thunder Rosa has been gunning for Mariah with what she's been doing lately. I can see Thunder Rosa versus Mariah at World's End. Then you have the Toni Storm Mariah rematch at Grand Slam because that's in Australia, Tony's backyard.
Yep.
That's you got to have her in a big title match in Australia.
Yeah.
It's like they had to do that for Rhea when they did Elimination Chamber Australia. That's why they had Rhea Nia be the main event,
right?
Of Elimination Chamber because Rhea's from Australia.
Yeah, and that's why Candice and Indy were on the
well, that's
card.
right. Well, yeah, Indy got a huge pop
Yeah.
from the Aussie fans. It's like Bronson would have gotten the same thing if he had been there.
He had that family unfortunate situation going.
They ever go back to Australia, Zaria's going to get the same reaction when she's on the main roster.
Oh yes, she is. Hey, shout out to AEW. You finally made Hook look good in quite some time.
That whole segment with Christian Cage was one of the best parts of the show, with Hook attacking him. I love the camera angle where they showed him pop up behind the door and Christian is still mouthing off. And he's like, he just waits for the right moment to attack him. I like how the announcers didn't say anything right away. It's like, although I don't know, Tony's finally starting to get my nerves, man. He's starting to feel like late WCW Tony to me, where it's like that was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I love how even Nigel called him out.
You just have PTSD of a bad.
It's not good when Nigel of all people called him out for saying that.
Yeah. But you also are getting a little PTSD.
It's one of the greatest things we've ever seen.
No, it's not.
No, it's you know, I'm starting to come around. It's like, like when Tony first started AEW, I thought he was fine, but he seems to have regressed a little bit. It's like both him and Excalibur, I think, have gone.
Yeah. Tony's lost his fast.
The best people they got at the announce booth are Taz and Nigel.
Oh, Nigel for sure is probably your best, and Taz still does really well. With that, there was one more.
JR has been better than them, even with the few times he's been able to work because of his health and everything. But he says he's doing better. So, this is why I'm like, Tony, if you had any brains, you go out and get Morrow.
Yeah, really.
Dude, Morrow, Nigel, and Taz. God,
Mamma Mia! That's a great trio there.
Because Morrow and Nigel worked together on NXT for years, and they have great chemistry together.
And it doesn't take much for Taz to be
that would be instant. And then you throw in Taz, it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Those if you want the right 3-man booth for AEW, take Excalibur and Tony out and put Morrow in.
How much longer is Edge on the shelf?
Word is that he's healed. He's been filming the second season of
that's right.
For Disney Plus.
Percy Jackson, yeah, that's right. He's Ares. He does really well as Ares too. Shout out to that.
Yeah, he's a regular on the show. Yep. He's been filming that, so it means that he's healed. The word is that he's healed and cleared. He'll be back when they're done filming the second season of the show. So his return is imminent. I would not be surprised if Christian finally successfully cashes in, but Adam fucks it up for him.
Yeah.
I will not be surprised if that happens.
It's pretty much what I'm thinking. That's where they're going to go with.
Because right now they can't have him cash in because it's like you're just going from a heel to a heel. Because Moxley is a heel, he's got the title. They're not going to have him take it from Moxley. The only thing it would make sense if a babyface wins it, then he's going to try to steal the title with the cash in. So that's my guess. Because eventually they got to have the Edge and Christian reunion. They got to have them do one more run as a tag team together before their careers are over. And the fans will want to see that happen.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, let's finish our.
Can you imagine them against FTR?
Shut up! Just stop! Just stop!
As Simon Miller likes to say, it gives me a warm feeling in my tum tum.
Yep, feeling warm feeling in the tum tum. Yep, for sure. All right, let's wrap it up with NXT.
Hold on, I will say, I forgot one or two things. One, I thought this was actually a good show this week. There was more good than bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot to mention, I was bummed I didn't get my Julia T-shirt before deadline this past weekend. It is still not arrived. According to the shipping, it's supposed to finally get delivered tomorrow, hopefully. So I will have my Julia T-shirt ready to go for New Year's Evil, and I can't wait.
Nice.
I'm actually going to be wearing that very soon here on the show. If I had gotten it, I would have been wearing it tonight. But the fact that my guy Drew McIntyre is back and he's killing it again, I was like, that's why I went with McIntyre tonight.
Gotcha. Well, speaking of NXT, let's talk about it.
Too long. All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of NXT. The show opened with Julia cutting a promo after winning the Iron Survivor Challenge and saying that she was finally going to do what she came to NXT to, and that's win the NXT Women's title from Roxanne at New Year's Evil. Roxanne came out and said that that's not going to happen because Julia's not on her level, has no chance of beating her. Cora Jade came out as well to back her up and said she wasn't going to make it to New Year's Evil, and then showed that on the Videotron she'd already attacked Stephanie McCurry in the back to prevent Stephanie from helping Julia. They went to beat Julia down, but Kalani Jordan ran out to make the save, setting up a tag team match between them for later in the show. Feeling sorry for Ethan Page being all despondent in the back, Tony D'Angelo offered him a shot at the North American title later in the show, which he eventually accepted. Les King was talking to Charlie Dempsey in the back about a Heritage Cup shot. He said, think about it. Then eventually he and the rest of the No Credit Catch crew got into it with Jada Parker and OTM, setting up potential feud on both sides. Then we had Javon Evans taking on Wesley. Javon picked up the victory, leaving Wesley very pissed off afterwards. Got a video of Josh Briggs' time in Japan at Noah, where he met Yoshiki Inamura and explaining why they're teaming together. Kalani and Julia were shown coming out of checking in on Stephanie in the back. Julia ranted in Japanese, and Kalani said that they were going to make Cora Jade and Roxanne pay for this and show them that they don't run the NXT Women's Division. So Ruckus and Zarya enjoyed being in the Iron Survivor Challenge, even though they didn't win. Metaphor came up and talked trash to the two of them, and that set up a tag match between those ladies for next week. Hank and Tag took on Tyreek and Tyson in a tag match. Hank and Tag picked up the victory. They went to shake hands afterwards, but Tyreek didn't want to do it, teasing a heel turn. We had a interview face-off between Oba Femi, Trick Williams, and Eddie Thorpe. Eddie accusing Oba of being the one who attacked him. Oba didn't say that he did, and didn't flat out deny it. He promised that he was going to be taking the title from Trick, and that there wasn't anything you do about it. Eddie Thorpe kept bitching that he was about what had happened to him, and got in Trick's face, and they had words, and that led to Trick agreeing to give Eddie Thorpe a title shot next week. Fatal Infamous vowed to take care of Gigi Dolan because she's obviously gunning for Fallon Henley in the Women's North American Championship. Gigi and Tatum were talking in the back, saying they needed help against Fatal Influence, and Tatum saying that she'd found a new friend to help. That led to a tag match as the two of them took on JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. The heels picked up a victory thanks to a distraction from Fallon Henley on the outside. Then as they were getting beat down by Fatal Influence afterwards, in a surprise, Shotzi returned from injury to NXT and ran in and helped the babyfaces fight off Fatal Influence. Welcome back, Shotzi. Then we had a segment where Axiom Nathan Frazier revealed that they had both booked separate things that was going to maybe cause some more issues between them. Axiom got a match with Oba Femi, tried to get payback on him for beating up Nathan at Deadline, but Nathan revealed that he had gotten them a tag title match defending against Gals next week. Oh, the drama between Fraxium. North American title match, Tony D defending against Ethan Page. Tony D picked up the victory. Ethan Page was shown to be very lost and despondent afterwards, not sure what to do. Charlie Dempsey came up Lex King and told him that he was getting his Heritage Cup title shot in 2 weeks. Then we had the main event. Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade taking on Julia and Kalani Jordan in a tag match. While the chaos was going on, ref was distracted. Roxanne hit Kalani with pop rocks on the outside. Hurley and Julia brawled toward the back. But Cora took advantage of that and hit Kalani with her Jada DDT finisher. Pick up the victory for the heels. As Julia and Roxanne fought to the back and disappeared, while Cora was celebrating, all of a sudden Stephanie McCur's music hit. Cora expected her to come out from the entranceway, but she snuck in through the crowd and attacked Cora from behind. She destroyed her batter kendo stick that she had, snapped it in half, and then chased after her to get payback for being laid out earlier in the show, and chased Cora right through the crowd and out of the arena. But before the show ended, Eddie Thorpe was shown in Ava's office trying to get his contract signed for next week, and he shockingly revealed that to Ava that he faked the entire attack on himself so that he would get a title match without having to be in the Iron Survivor and win it against multiple people to cement his heel turn to close out the show. That's all that happened on this week's episode of NXT.
All right. While you were giving your breakdown, I was able through the internet to find the footage of who attacked Eddie Thorpe. All right, so this is the first time. I'm sorry, this is breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. This is exactly who attacked Eddie. This is exactly what happened. Pretty sure this is accurate. This is Eddie Thorpe. Pretty sure this is
what he did.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind?
Yep. That's there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
Thank you, the power of the internet. Thank you for all you reporters out there that was able to find us the footage of who attacked Eddie Thorpe. On that, yes, it was Eddie Thorpe. He played a game.
That was a twist I didn't see coming.
Nope. And hopefully,
but I like it.
Yeah. As soon as he said that, it was like I staged it. I was the one that attacked myself. I'm like, we're doing liar liar. We're doing the liar liar scene. We're doing that. But no, Oba comment of the only reason you've been the top guy around here is because I've allowed you to be the top guy around here.
That was a great line. That like I allowed the trick area to happen. It's like because I chose not to come for the title because he was busy with being North American champion. Now that's over with, now he wants the big belt. Mm-hmm. I thought that was fantastic. The whole three-way between Oba, Trick, and Eddie Thorpe was fantastic.
It was fantastic. And I'm like, after the end of it, the way Eddie Thorpe was kind of smug about it and everything, I'm like, okay, Eddie.
I'm like the heel. They're definitely pulling the heel turn trigger. And then I was like, as soon as he's like, yeah, I faked the whole thing so I could get the title shot. It's like, I was like, heel turn official.
Yeah. So
and props to Ava. The look on her face, she was pissed when he said, "Oh, I did that to myself. I faked the whole thing."
Yeah. I don't like that Wesley lost. Like he's lost so much momentum now.
I think it's leading somewhere.
It's got to. Wes is too good.
And plus, I don't think it's over because they focused a lot on Wes being all pissed off that he lost to Javad. So I think they're gonna have another match. Which I'm fine with.
I'm still not in on Hank and Take. I'm just not there yet.
Not there yet. Yeah. We're definitely doing. There's a lot of storylines that are cooking right now.
Okay.
Welcome back, Shotzi. That was a nice surprise. Didn't see that coming either.
Well, if you noticed when Gigi and Tatum were walking, the doll that Tatum had was dressed as Shotzi. That was a little.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, someone pointed it out. I'm like, oh, that's right.
That's the same thing where it's like the doll that she had before Gigi showed up looked like Gigi. So it's like, see, I love the little, it's like,
there.
But Shotzi personality wise matches those two. So I like those two together as a trio because their personalities all mesh. Mm-hmm. So them against Fatal Influence. If this leads to like Gigi versus Fallon Henley for Women's North American title, which I think is where it's heading. Yeah. Thumbs up.
Yeah. And at first I was like, why is Shotzi on NXT? But then I realized she was on NXT when she got hurt. So
yes, she if for people don't remember, she was in an NXT title match against Lyra Valkyria a year ago around this time. And she took a simple like bump off the apron and she just didn't plant her feet right and tore her ACL right then and there. And it was the show had been pre-taped, so she had to get taken out, and then they made up for it by Lyra issuing an open challenge, which was answered by Lash Legend to make up for the fact that they had to scrub the match because she was injured.
Yeah.
So glad Shotzi's finally back. She was moving great, man. So she must have been ready for a while. she must have got cleared like a while ago because she was like ready to go.
Yeah.
So Fatal Influence got problems now. So that was great.
And Zarya backstage ready to just rip someone's head off.
Yep. It's like, Zarya and Sol Ruka against Metaphor. That's going to be fun.
That's going to be real fun. It's going to be real fun. Because you've got the high flyer and the brute.
The power.
So.
You got the speed. Sol Ruka's got the speed, and Zarya's got the power.
Yep. Yeah. So that's and plus Metaphor. Those girls
have gotten a lot better.
They got Lash Legend, like you said.
Zarya versus Lash Legend. That's going to be a woman house fight. That's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I hope they can have the good chemistry because that could either go one of two ways.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Exactly.
With that, but interested in that. I will say though is the timing was a little off with when Cora ran in, and then Kalani Jordan, and so they're like, and like Julia at one point was like, okay, I'm going to punch you. Like it just, the timing was a little off to me in that segment.
Yeah. I love the whole opening segment was great. It's like Julia was like, I'm coming for you, Roxanne. I got my rematch. And Roxanne was being all like, you're not on my level. You're not going to, you didn't beat me before. You're not going to beat me this time. And like, then you throw in the Cora. And I love that because I was like, all right. I was like thinking like, okay, Stephanie going to come out and help. But the Cora's like, oh, and Stephanie's not going to help you this time. And then like they showed that I was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
Cora Roxanne, but it's like it's like this is good heel work. They thought ahead. They're like, we need to neutralize Stephanie so that we can have Julia all to ourselves, which was right. But Kalani foiled that, which I thought was great, and I loved how like when they came out of the training room after they're checking on Stephanie, and Julia just goes right into ranting in Japanese, and Kalani like doesn't speak Japanese. She speaks Spanish, as we knew, but she's like, I think what Julia's trying to say, what goes around comes around.
I laughed at that. I popped at that. That was funny.
No, that was great. And then the tag match, the main event, that was fun. And number one, heels won the match, which they should have. And number two, Cora got the win by pinning Kalani, which was good for Jade because she's been doing a lot of jobs lately. So that was good for Cora Jade. And then we got set up where Stephanie's like, it's like you thought you got rid of me. No, I'm coming for you, bitch.
Yeah.
I love that she snapped. She just like in one motion just snapped that kendo stick bat over her knee and just snapped it. I was just like, oh, it's on now. You better run, Cora.
Can you tell the viewers, kind of educate them a little bit, and also me on who Yoshiki is?
He is a Japanese wrestler from Noah, which WWE has developed a relationship with. They've had a lot of talent going back and forth. I haven't seen a lot of his work, but I'm really interested to see what he can do. He speaks pretty good English, and I kind of like his like. He's definitely shown like some personality. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how this works out with the Josh Briggs pairing. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do because he's part of this whole like just like with the TNA thing. This is part of like an talent exchange thing that they're doing. So because like you mentioned, Taven Heights went over, spent some time in Noah. Josh Briggs just recently did the same thing, and now he just came back. And they decided to have. They wanted to have one of their guys come over to NXT and, work with NXT, learn the American stuff, which is really cool, I think. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Yeah.
But I love everything about the main event. Julia Stephanie 2 is going to be gonna rock. And now we got a feud off and running with Cora Jade and Stephanie Becker, which is good because it gives Stephanie something to do. Since it's the focus right now is on Julia and Roxanne round 2, as it should be, but this gives Stephanie something to do, and it makes sense because with what's been going on lately. So Stephanie versus Cora Jade 1-on-1, yes, please.
Okay, so this is how I'm going to book it because I'm still wanting the blow off between Cora and Roxanne before Roxanne goes to the main roster. So I'm still wanting this to happen. So here's how I would book it: is after. So Stephanie and Cora have their thing. maybe there's a little bit of tiff between Roxanne and Cora, because Roxanne's going to be like, "Why? I thought you said you took out Stephanie. Why is she still standing?" Like blah 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 blah. On that, and then Cora's going to be like, "Don't worry, I'm going to take care of it." Stephanie beats Cora. Roxanne gets ticked, and then Cora's going to be like, "Where's that? I've always had your back the whole time." That's the only way I can think that this is going to happen, to where Cora ends up screwing over Roxanne against Julia, and then they have their blood feud. Cora goes over on Roxanne. Roxanne goes to the main roster.
Yeah, because I think Julia has to beat Roxanne clean to win the title. But I wouldn't mind where Cora tries to help but fails, and then that starts the new rift where it's like Roxanne's like now that it costs her the match, but it backfires or something.
Right, it backfires, like the Finn Damien type stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that's how I would book it. Because
I like that because it's like I would also like to see them have that final blow off before one of them, because I'm assuming Roxanne, I'm assuming is going to be going first. So I think that's the right move. But for sure, it's looking like they're going to be doing a changing of the guard with New Year's Evil with the title matches they got set up, because it's like Roxanne's had the incredible run with the title, and Julia's the big thing. So it storyline wise, it makes sense. She came in, she got the first shot, it failed. Now she's got the rematch, and Roxanne's still all confident as you would expect her to be, but it's like it's Julia's time. And same thing with Obafemi. It's like sorry, Trick.
Yeah, it's Oba's time. Last thing I want to touch on, because we're at the 2-hour mark.
Mm-hmm.
I love what Ethan Page is doing, even in loss. I'm interested
to see where this is going.
I just hope that he doesn't get to the whiny, to a point where he's Miz. Do you see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
That's the only thing, is like to a point where he's still respected as one of those top heels, and not just a whiny little, that just always is like a thorn in the thigh, rather than being an actual legit heel opponent. That's the one thing I was like, they got to keep. I love what he's doing, just don't go full Miz. In that regard. What say you?
Yeah, and we'll see where this is going to go. Ethan's definitely a candidate, maybe to move up to the main roster. I mean, it's like he's already been NXT champion. I mean, it's like there's not much. It's like there's not much else. I don't see much else he's going to do in NXT before they move him to like Raw or SmackDown. So, we'll see. Maybe they find a way to keep him around in NXT for a little longer. Who knows?
Right.
Maybe it's part of that. I'm not sure. But so also they definitely teased issues between OTM and No Quarter Catch Crew. So Red Sinclair versus Jada, and also OTM versus No Quarter Catch Crew. Yeah.
They're trying to make OTM work. I mean, they are trying.
They're trying, because Jada's the real breakout star, man. Right now,
it's Jada.
Jada's like way ahead of them on the progress scale. But they're definitely trying to help get them over as a team, and maybe this will help them both out. So we'll see. I'm fine with it. And so do you think Lexus King is gonna win the Heritage Cup, or because it's like he tried the last time he had Regal in his corner and he failed. So second time the charm?
Sure, why not? That cup makes no sense to me, dude. I'm trying. I am trying.
I know. I'm with you. It's like I'm like,
give Lexus King something, though. I will say that.
It's like they definitely. I think it's part of just Sean trying to keep some things in NXT that are unique compared to what's on the main roster. Like
I know we've had this conversation many times.
Cup's one thing, and then you got the Iron Survivor match as well.
Iron Survivor, I can get around.
No, the Iron Survivor is really won me over. It's like they've really got that down to a T. Especially especially the way the women's match came out this year. It's like,
yeah. So But yeah, no, I want Lexus King to do it because I think Charlie Dempsey should go for the NXT North American.
Oh, I think it's time to let him move past the Heritage Cup and get into like the real titles, like North American title. Because I think long term, if Tony D's not getting called up just yet, after he drops the North American title, then he can feud with Oba for the world title because he's gonna be like I beat you, Oba. It's like I beat you before. I can do it again. I'm going to take the NXT title from you.
Yeah, they should have let No Quarter beat Fraxium. That's what's because I think that should be the team to hold the title.
Who is going to get the rub by beating Fraxium? That's what I'm wondering. It's like
they're gonna. I don't want it to be Hank and Tank. Like I said, I just don't buy them. And they're really pushing for that team to do it.
The fans are starting to get into them, but I don't think they're there yet. They're not over enough yet. I don't think.
No,
at least from my view.
Yeah,
but
I can.
But I'll tell you what, you can tell that everything they're doing with Julie and Stephanie is working because both Julie and Stephanie are very over right now.
Oh well, it's not going to take a lot for those talents to shine through.
No, so. It's like
of the three, Zarya's the one that's
I'm both excited and sad. I'm sad that Roxanne's title reign is on borrowed time.
Oh, you're sad? You're sad?
I'm sad. I'm sad.
Thank you for your support.
But at the same time, I'm excited for what's going to happen with the women's division. Because you got so much. Because you got Julia. It's like Julia's going to get it, and then her and Stephanie. That's going to be amazing.
So
then either one of them against Zarya. That's going to be amazing. Is Sol Ruka finally going to get her time? Is she going to get the women's title at some point, or is she going to get the North American title? I'm hoping she gets belted before she gets called up because it's like she's become so good. She deserves something.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it feels like this for 2025, Julia, Stephanie Vicker, and Zarya are going to be battling over the NXT Women's title.
Yeah, and like I was saying a little bit of the three that they brought in with Julia, Stephanie, and Zarya, I knew what Julia had. Obviously, she was PWI's number 2 of 2023. And Stephanie, when I saw her against Mercedes, I'm like, okay, I'm sold there. Yeah. Zarya I knew nothing about, and I saw a couple of matches. I'm like, okay, I can see it, but I'm not sure. She is way more crisp than I expected her to be.
Oh yeah, she's great too, man. And they have a ready-made feud between her, Jordan Grace, in the future too, because Jordan wasn't too happy about the her getting speared by accident during that 10-woman tag back in October.
Yeah, and then you got Fallon Henley waiting in the wings too.
Yeah. No,
Thea Hell, guys, come on.
That's the other person I kind of, besides Sol Ruka, I feel like deserves to have a title run at some point. Is Thea. It's amazing. It's tough because it's like they got so many talented women. It's like I want to see them get the chance to shine with some gold.
There's only so much TV time.
That's why I'm glad that the women's North American title exists, because that gives an avenue for some of them outside. They're not at who they think is ready at the main event level for the women's title to fight for something.
Yeah, and I mean it's perfect for Fatal and Fallon to have it. And all that. And I'm glad that they're pushing Kalani to the main event scene. She's not. I don't think she's ready for it, but she's definitely closer than the rest of them.
I saw some people wondering if Kalani, they might be setting up Kalani to go heel. I don't know about that. I don't think she's ready for a heel turn.
I mean,
she's definitely been on a losing streak. It's like, so it's like I'm wondering if that's going to lead somewhere.
And she's still kind of green compared to Sol Ruka. She's still clean.
Sol Ruka is like way ahead of her.
Yeah, and they both came in about the same time, didn't they?
That's why I think Kalani's going to spend another year at least in NXT before she gets called up. They need to season her up a lot more. She's definitely got the talent, but there's still some times where it's like you can tell that it's like there's small little like things are a little off. And I noticed that even during this match, but And I think that's also why Cora, because Cora still feels like getting back into a groove. Like, not like she's bad, but she doesn't. I haven't seen her like at where she was like before she got hurt.
Yeah,
I think that's where this like little mini feud with Stephanie is going to help her. Because I mean, getting Stephanie back her, man, it's like, come on. So, yes, Cora versus Stephanie. That's gonna kick ass. It's so exciting. There's so much stuff going on in NXT Women's Division.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, well, I think that about does it for us for this episode. I hope you all are having a wonderful, holiday season out there. And because there's a lot of big traveling going on, so everyone stay safe with their travels out there. But thank you all, obviously, for joining us every week that we try and at least. Obviously, we took a holiday break, and we'll let you all know as far as how if we can do it. Obviously, we'll figure out. And we'll let you all know at least next week how we're going to do the holiday with the Christmas.
Yeah, we're going to do
Christmas
before the New Year.
Yeah, so we'll let you all kind of know on that.
Yeah.
Which most of the time during those schedules, it's a lot of like, it's a lot of nothing burgers of shows, just because they're also doing other holiday stuff as far as wrestlers are concerned. So there's not going to be a whole. I don't expect now. If it ramps up, and we'll try and make it happen. But I don't expect a whole lot happening until the new year, until after the new year. Other than the NXT. Where unfortunately I think Roxanne will be dethroned by Julia. But you can also catch us on other things. Fantasy F Around on Mondays, me and Tushka break down everything that is fantasy football. That's coming to an end here pretty quickly. So I hope you all, whoever in the playoffs, make sure your rosters are good there. So join us Monday there at 9:00 Central. Tuesdays is actually open now. So Wednesdays we're doing Game Dudes and Rev Sports Wrap It Up. Justin, unfortunately, we did talk about the Yankees getting outbid by the Mets, but they did get a clutch ass pitcher, so that kind of worked out in a sense. But you did lose a generational talent. But the Buffalo Bills are cooking, so even though they lost, I still think they're cooking there. So with that, we're going to try and do our bracket bitches and talk about that. Tushka won, whatever, beat me by 1 point, whatever. Good, congratulations. And we also the college football. So join us in the Discord down below. It is free. We're also going to be doing we're going to continue doing the bracket bitches because college football playoff is getting ready to start there. That bracket was just set up last weekend. Hey, join us on the Discord. Join us for all that fun stuff there, and join us doing the bracket challenge, and we will go over it so you can keep up with us and you can comment saying this person sucks and all that. Joining all that fun there. And then like, subscribe, all that fun jazz, ring the doorbell, and anything. Wrestling's fun. Everyone have a great holiday season. Should be back next week, and we will see you all then. Peace.